Really not much to say other than we got outplayed, and this all, I got to do a much better job clearly preparing our team to, regardless of circumstance, we have to, we have to play better than we just did. I didn't think it was an effort thing. I think our guys came out with a lot of energy. It was a combination of a lot of things, and early on execution offensively, could have been much better, and defensively, we put them on the field far too much, and Green Bay had some success on offense to maintain possession of the football. But this is going to be one that we've really got to take a long look at. Starts with me, like I said, and I'm going to be the first one out in front of this thing, fighting to make sure we don't have any more performances like that. Have to get right back to work this week. We're going to find out, with everything being tested within our organization of culture and what we've tried to build here. But in the end, we've got to go back to work and try to improve with the opportunity that we have left, and that all will start with me. I did want to update you guys. Ed Ingram did leave the game with a left shoulder and did not return. We'll get him evaluated, and I'll keep you guys posted on where Ed is at.
Kevin, what went into the switch at quarterback?
Yeah, just, there was, some things execution-wise, some things progression-wise, just, some play calls here and there that we just had to get everybody, give ourselves a chance, especially with where the score was at half, just to make sure we got premier execution and at least the process. I thought Jaron had a good week of preparation. There were some early plays in the game where maybe, things were happening pretty quick and progressions and things like that. But like I said, this isn't about Jaron tonight. This isn't about any one particular aspect of our team. Ultimately, I've got to be better for our group. And, I did think Nick, especially with where the score was at, trusting in his preparation like him and I had talked about all week long, when called upon, Nick could go in and help our offense move the ball and try to see if we can scratch and claw back into the game.
Kevin, what do you do at quarterback next week?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at it. Ultimately what we've got to find a way to do is, regardless of, what we try to do with the plan, whether we try to simplify it, whether we try, to use tempo, use different aspects of our offense, the quarterback position, the decision we'll make will be based upon, that position putting our group in a place to try to move the football and have success. We did not do that tonight, and like I said, we'll look at it. I think all options are on the table, and try to, that'll be a huge part of making sure that as we put the game plan together, we do the best thing we can to give those other 10 guys in the huddle a chance to be at their best and have the quarterback do their jobs, and hopefully we can function and move the ball. And like I said, there were some bright moments there for Jaron standing in there making some throws, just not enough across the board, including from me. So we've all got to take a good long look at the film and figure out how to techniques, fundamentals, play calls, philosophies, all those things, and make sure we're constantly chasing improvement, because after that performance, that's the number one thing we need to do.
You say progressions. Is he just not getting through them quick enough?
Just, plays that we were, an early third down where maybe the number one progression might have been KJ working across the field, and we had just had our eyes in the wrong spot, and just, things that, would have been hard to really predict. And then just about the time he found some rhythm on some throws and we moved the ball a little bit, then we take a sack to knock us backwards, and we're kind of scratching uphill from there. So it really felt like even when we were able to get momentum, when we got it to 10-3, Greg hit the 54-yarder, and we're trying to just see if we can keep that thing in one possession, possibly have a chance to double up. And then we had the strip sack fumble there towards the end that equaled 7 points for them. I'll have to take a look at it as far as what caused that, because I thought that was a pretty critical play in the football game to try to, continue to stand in the middle of the ring and try to throw some haymakers and see if we could try to win the football game. And when you have that kind of a flip of a momentum play, it seemed to be catastrophic for us.
What did you say to Jaron when you decided to make the move?
Yeah, I think going into the game, I did not want him to feel like there was any sort of, quick hook or anything like that. He knew all along that, we were getting Nick ready to play. I had dialogue with both those guys together all week long last week leading into our preparation getting going. So they were both aware, and I just told them I felt like with where the game was at, we needed Nick to go in there and just, process and run the offense and try to see if we can stack some plays together in the pass game. We'll still try to mix it in and mix in the runs, but, where we were at the game, it was time for Nick to go in the game.
When you say you need to take a look and take responsibility yourself, like where does that start with you this week?
Yeah, I'll look at how we prepared. I'll look at, what our plan was, get with the coordinators in all three phases and really talk about, areas where maybe we could have been better as a coaching staff, areas we could have been better putting the plan together, and then ultimately see, whether, where did the, failure happen? Was it play calls? Was it technique and fundamentals? Was it ownership of the plan? And you got to take inventory on it. And it's not an easy process. It's not a fun process, but we as a coaching staff, starting with me, have to have the accountability and ownership, to then attack this next opportunity with our players side by side as a group and just try to improve.
Yeah, it was probably irrelevant to the outcome of the game. Do you have any issues with the Packers throwing deep right there? Yeah.
No, I used my timeouts there just to see really if we could get the ball back, and we were more than likely going to sub. We had subbed on defense, and at this point, every rep we have for some of the guys that have not played, or guys throughout, if we can get some possible reps there on offense to see if that propels us to either current success and see if we can possibly have a chance at scoring and then onside, and just when there was time left, I want our guys to continue fighting. But yeah, that's all part of it, especially, you're trying to sell out to stop the run, and it's all part of it.
Kevin, you made culture such a big part of what you do here. Like, do you feel like a performance like this tests that?
Oh, absolutely.
How do you evaluate?
Yeah, I mean, I've learned that this group responds to adversity. They respond to tough circumstances, throughout the season, whatever has happened, injuries, tough results, turnovers, whatever it is. They've come back and gone to work every single week. I think they love one another in that locker room. I think they believe ultimately that, they'll go back to work and trust in each other, trust in us as coaches. I told them after the game, I wasn't good enough for us tonight. And I know that was echoed by a lot of folks in there, but in my opinion, it starts and ends with me, and that's where we'll go back to pressing forward. I don't know any other way than to press onward and compete and try to improve, because I do believe any and all improvement, it's much more than just about one play, one quarter, one game. It's about the future, and it's about guys having the opportunity to continue to grow. If they haven't played a lot and they get opportunities because of injury or any other circumstance, all of it matters. Everything matters, and that's what's so hard about this result, because these guys, they worked their tails off to prepare, and we just, we weren't good enough in really any aspect of the game tonight, and you got to give Green Bay a lot of credit for coming in and executing their game plan.
Kevin, what were you not good enough at?
Just anytime you have a result like this, that there was no ounce of that locker room or staff or anything. You could feel the energy in the stadium. I didn't believe, there was no, there will be no acceptance of a result like this. Never, there was never one person in the locker room that wasn't talking about, hey, we've been here before. We've, walked out of this locker room down much more than this and found ways to come back before in previous opportunities. And, they really, when I look at it, it's a matter of my job is to, really evaluate everything from a standpoint of where we weren't good enough, where there was failure tonight within the plans, within the techniques, fundamentals. And clearly, our leadership of the team is going to take us through this. I trust those guys, and I value my coaching staff tremendously, and we'll all go back to work. We've got to find a way to compete and make sure we do not have an effort like this again.
Kevin, what was your sense for why Jordan Love looked much more comfortable this time than when the last time?
Yeah, I thought they had a good plan. Anytime we were soft in coverage, they were taking completions. When we tightened up, they were able to get some explosives down the field. I would have to go back and take a look at kind of how, what, individual plays and things like that. But just they seem to be able to, get enough of their run game going to kind of stay efficient. And there was a lot of times where they were, third and shorts, third and inches, getting first downs and kind of able to, stay on the field and possess the ball when they moved it. And we certainly didn't do much offensively, especially in the first half, to be able to combat that with time of possession or really getting into any sort of a flow offensively. And you've got to be able to convert some third downs. You got to be able to limit the negative plays, sacks, and penalties and things like that. And just felt like we were pressing a little bit, after they started to get a little bit of a lead on us. Maybe we pressed as a team, and all of which, comes back. And I look at my responsibility is to make sure that we're competing for 4 quarters and trying to do everything we can to battle back if it hasn't started the way we wanted, which it certainly did not, and we go from there.
Kevin, since about halftime of the Saints game, it has been hard to get consistency at all from the quarterback position.
Yeah.
What do you think has caused it to drop off to that degree when Dobbs even came in and gave you a good lift for the start there?
Yeah, I think, we're trying to do whatever we can to, feature some of our players that we think are, game changers for us at the skill position. Had some guys step in for TJ, and Jordan, without a lot of preparation time this week, kind of trying to get healthy, was able to go in and function. We got, I think just as an offense, the way I look at it, we've just got to find a way to make, a couple of those early opportunities go, as far as, if the design of the play is there and the execution's right. I trust our guys to go make the play and the throw and the catch when it's there to be made. Just across the board, it just didn't show up early enough in the game or consistent enough throughout the night to avoid what the outcome was. And we've got to be better on offense. We've got to find a way. Like I said, regardless of circumstance, it's about putting together, one play at a time with the right mentality of all 11 guys doing their job. Sometimes it's easy to look at one particular position, especially in our sport, and say that's got to be the issue. And there's certainly a time and a place for that, but there's also times when, we've got some other breakdowns going on besides just the quarterback position. And that's where we got to continue to chase improvement, trying to feature our best players and allow those guys to make plays, giving them opportunities in the pass game, giving our running backs opportunities in the run game, and see if we can stack some plays together, which we just did not do tonight at all.
Kevin, is Dobbs a possibility now that he's been around for him?
Yeah, I think at this point, I think, I said it last week, and we had discussions about all 3 quarterbacks last week, and we'll do that as a staff again and kind of take a look at where we're at, what kind of game plan we're going to put together against a team we just played a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I would say really at this point, whatever that depth chart at quarterback looks like, including the starter, we're going to do whatever we think gives us the best chance to win this football game this week and leave the conversation at that. Thank you.